Now we have true false not given in section 2. So when we have true false not given in section 1, it is simple, not very complicated, but in section 2 and 3 it can be a little more complicated. The thing is, method is same, by the way. Tips, techniques are same. So let's do question number 22, and by now we are quite familiar with the passage because we have done list of headings, right? 22. Need for transport is growing despite technological developments. In one paragraph we read, they were talking about need for transport is growing, and for technological development they said telemarketing, telecommunicating, this and that. Need for transport is growing. Paragraph A, third line. The requirement for transport continues to increase, and before that, for technological development, they are using the word facilitating teleworking and teleservices. Teleservices means to provide services on phone. Teleworking means to work from a distant location. So what's the answer? False. Good. Be confident. I say false. अच्छा जी false ही सही है. हाँ, कनाडा जाना, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाना, यार कनाडा चले जाओ, अच्छा कनाडा चले जाते हैं, मैनू बाहर ले जाओ. So much desperated that take me out of this country. Border से धक्का दे दो, दरिया नहर में, उसमें अपना समुद्र में फेंक दो, but take me out of this country. Anyways, okay, so 22 is true, and you must know why the answer is true, and you have to be confident about that. Okay, let's go on. Question number 23. To reduce production costs, some industries have been moved closer to their relevant consumers. Now see a paragraph where they use kilometers, thousands of kilometers. Check if industries have come closer to consumers, it's true. If industries have gone far from consumers, then it is false, otherwise not given. Very next paragraph, paragraph B. Last line, even though the production site is hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away from the final assembly plant or away from users. So what is the answer? True. Pakka? Very good. False. Why? To reduce production costs, some industries have been moved closer. No. To reduce the cost, they've been away from the user. Like I mentioned, China, and then they are used in America. Question number 24. Cars are prohibitively expensive in some EU candidate countries. Look here, you already read a paragraph which is about EU expected candidate countries. Now listen. What's the point? They will talk about cars. If cars are prohibitively expensive, means very, very expensive, then it is true. If cars are not prohibitively expensive, they are normal, then it is false. And if they don't tell us, they talk about cars, but they don't tell us whether they are very expensive or cheaper or whatever, then the answer is not given. Now go to the paragraph where they were talking about that European Union and all that. It's paragraph C, by the way. Paragraph C. And don't tell me the answer until I ask you. Got it? Cars are very expensive. So what's the answer? Yeah, not given you hoega, minnu te labba nahi. Something like that, okay? So the answer is, why not given? Because they did not mention anything that the cars are prohibitively expensive. Right? In paragraph C, you can just check that. Okay, question number 25. Gothenburg European Council. What's the clue word? Yeah, Gothenburg European Council. The first letter is starting with capital. Just a second, don't look for it. Read the question first. फिर जाके कहेंगे मैं चौल लेना ऐसे छापर कार रह गया. Okay, so then you go back and get the plastic. So I mean, without reading the question, you are going there. Why are you going there? आज आप लोग खुद मजाक करवा रहे हो. Okay, so anyways, Gothenburg European Council was set up 30 years ago. If it was set up 30 years ago, true. If more than 30 years or less than 30 years, then false. And if they don't tell us anything, whether 30 years or more, then not given. So please go back, look for this. It's in paragraph D, by the way. There's a very good trap. Okay, what's the answer? True. Yeah, because they have mentioned in 30 years. Okay, listen up, listen up. This is a very good trap for that. This 30 year is the future time. And this 30 year is not even related to European Council. Gothenburg European Council, this 30 year has got no relation with that. Just read about Gothenburg European Council has to be achieved by and all that. They did not mention anything whether that council was set up 30 years ago or more or less. So that timeline is not given. So the answer is not given. I just wanted to catch the thieves. बेचारे गलत लिखते हैं, उनका भी तो कोई बंदोबस्त करना है ना. Yeah. So the answer is, अब देखें कहाँ की बात, एक उधर ये लिखा उधर 30 है, जोड़ दो, ठीक है, सही है. Yeah, true, false, not given. ये होता है, जान छुड़ाओ, आगे चलो. Yeah. Okay, last question. By the end of this decade, CO2 emission from transport are predicted to reach 739 billion tons. Now there was a paragraph E, where we read about this thing. See, it's quite systematically going on now. If it is 739 billion tons, it's true. By the end of the decade, CO2 emission from transport, only from transport, are predicted to reach. Predicted to reach means future. Okay? 739 billion ton in future. So 739 इधर भी लिखा है, उधर भी लिखा है, तो आंसर क्या होगा? Taryu. This is false. I tell you why false. Because in the passage they say billion tons by 2020 compared with the 739 billion tons recorded in 1990. That was recorded in 1990 और यहाँ पे क्या बोल रहे हैं? CO2 emission from transport are predicted to reach by 739. That was in the past. This is in the future. Information is contradicting. So the answer is false. Very good. Okay? या रीडिंग में बोंगियां नहीं मारनी. बोंगी यही होती है ना, 729 इत्थे भी लिखे उत्थे भी लिखे, ट्रू हो गया. अगर ये हो गया तो वो हो गया. इसको कहते हैं बोंगी मारना. बोंगियां नहीं मारनी, समझ के अच्छे तरीके से. और देखें, इफ यू डू इट सिस्टमैटिकली, यू कैन फाइंड द आंसर्स एज वेल. ऑलराइट.